guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle. Today's video is going to be about microblading. Now, I did get microblading 2 years ago, but I'm going to tell you from when I got the microblading until now. And first thing is where I got the microblading done. I went to, I did some research and I looked up microblading places in my area. And the place that I found was called Shape Up Studio, and she was fairly new, but I looked at her pictures and I thought she did a really good job, and I was really impressed with the pictures, so I decided to go with Shape Up Brow Studio in Kyle, Texas, and I have the link below. So when I made my appointment 2 weeks in advance, and I got there, and when I talked to her on the phone, she told me, okay, so don't drink alcohol or caffeine the night before, the morning, don't have caffeine. She said if you want for pain, take Tylenol. And then she said also you could numb your eyebrows to reduce the pain. And I said, okay, so luckily the product she had mentioned I had, so that day I didn't drink coffee, I didn't have alcohol the night before, and it's to prevent excess bleeding while she's working on the microblading. I put the numbing medicine on. It's called Numb Me, I believe. So I just put the numbing medicine on my eyebrows, and I did it 30 minutes before my appointment. And I just put saran wrap on top of them so it wouldn't, come down my eye. And I was driving over there, and I was a little nervous, I have to say. And then once I got there, she said, okay, so, tell me what you are looking for. And I said, well, I want my eyebrows, I want them thicker. And she said, do you want to look at some pictures of samples? And I said, well, I just want my eyebrows, but just thicker. I want you to be able to see them in pictures. So she said, okay. So she, drew them out, lined them, showed me how thicker they would be. And then she said, okay, I'm going to go with the color of the hair of your eyeball, and she said she'd get the pigment good, because there's different colors apparently. I didn't know that, and so she put in a color that wasn't, my eyebrows are black, but she was going to put like a brown red, just so when they fade they don't look off. So she drew them on, she put on her gloves, sanitized her hands, put on her gloves, and I laid down on this table like you're getting your eyebrows waxed or something. And she put on music, and she started, it's this tiny little razor, but there's pigment on it, so she'll dip it, and then she'll basically cut you. Tiny little cuts. And she just keeps going on each side, here and here, and I think she usually does one side at a time, but I was in a lot of it. Even though I put the cream on, it still hurt. I don't like pain. Things, when I get, my wisdom teeth out or something, I don't take pain very well. So, she did it a few times. She could tell I was uncomfortable. She could tell I was tensed up. So she said, I'll go ahead and do a few here, a few here. And I said, okay, and that helped. It was about an hour and a half. It hurt. I'm not going to sugarcoat, but it did hurt. I was anxious. There was a few times where I was thinking, I just want to get up and leave. This hurts. But I didn't. I sucked it up, got it done. For her to make it less uncomfortable, she would do, a few here, a few there, a few here. And I got through it. It was an hour and a half, like I said. I was there a total of 2 hours because we had the consult where she would tell me, about the design, how thick I wanted it, the colors. We talked about all that. That was about 15-20 minutes, but then she had to set up and everything. So everything was sanitized. It was a nice, comfortable room. She had a little dog, and he was walking around, but he just laid there quietly once she got started. But everything was sanitized. It was a good experience. She was really nice. When it was over, I was like, wow, my first reaction was, wow, they're huge. I mean, they looked huge. And she said, I know they look big, but don't worry, it's just they're swollen. She said, she gave me these little things that size, and they were ice. She said you have to ice them for like at least an hour after because my head hurt. And there wasn't blood pouring down or anything like that. She also put antibiotic on it, so they were like, there was a lot of excess pigment, but she couldn't clean it completely off because it was bleeding. These were like open cuts. And then she put cream on it, so I won't get an infection or anything. And when she did that, they looked very shiny, so I looked like I overdid my eyebrows. It was just shiny and thick, and it was a little embarrassing the first few days. But I did go to a concert that night. My headache went away, but I was a little embarrassed because they were thick and shiny, and it looked like I got a marker. And just, it was bad. But it was dark. As a concert was dark, so you really couldn't. It really didn't look that bad because it was nighttime. But then the next day, I did go to my husband's boss's house, and they were still thick and shiny, and I wore a hat because I was a little embarrassed, and then I went to work the next day, and I was a little embarrassed, and I would tell people before they even asked. I even tried to stay away from people so that I didn't look crazy. But it took about 3 or 4 days where it finally, it wasn't as swollen, everything went down, didn't look as large. I didn't have to put as much cream, so it didn't look so crazy. But it took about 3 to 4 days. And it was painful, but I got through it, and this is a result. This is 4 times. The first time I got it done, I went back for after 2 weeks to just clean it up and freshen it up. At the very corner here, it was kind of sharp, and so I asked her if she could soften it up, and she did. And I went back 9 months later, and I had a cleanup, I guess, follow up, and I paid $150. And then I went my 4th time, and it was 9 months later, about 9 months later, and then I'm due for one. But when I make an appointment with her, you have to do it 3 or 4 weeks in advance. So I'm probably going to make an appointment in the next few days and probably get in 3 to 4 weeks, just because they're lightening up a little bit. So, but the first time I paid $300. Now and then for all my follow-ups, cleanups, it's $150. It's an hour, and I have recommended people to her, but because she's grown and she has done so many people, she charges $500 now. So I got lucky and paid $300, and every time I go, I pay $150. And a lot of people everywhere I go, people are like, "Oh, I love your eyebrows." And I don't put I don't fill them in. I don't put any creams or sprays. I just wash my face every day with my eyebrows, and that's it. I don't do anything. And I love it. And pictures, looks like I have eyebrows now, because before they were just really thin. So I really, really recommend it. Love it. And I would recommend Shape Up Studio in Kyle, Texas. I see her every 9 months, and she does a great job. She's funny, she's nice, she tells me stories. I really enjoy it, and I get lots of compliments. I refer a lot of people to her because she does a great job. So I'll go ahead and show you guys again, so you can see how it's kind of close up. It's kind of lightening up a little bit, so I'll probably go in the next few weeks. But if you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask them below. Thank you. Thanks for watching my video.